my middle role, I didn't really understand my role until later on.
Okay.
So, and I'm still trying to figure it out because people still think she's my big sister.
That is true. They do. I don't know if it's supposed to be there. I don't know. Okay. So now we're both live on YouTube and we're live on Facebook. But we're about to hop off of Facebook and do completely YouTube because we promised this particular platform that this is where we were going to do it because I know people were looking for it there. But if you guys would like to join us, it is Miss Lady Management, and you can just search it on YouTube. And what is it? A Degree of Dopeness. This is the live stream. Please don't look for the thumbnail because it's a blurry picture. But
that's the Q&A one.
But it is the Q&A one, and it did have a tag on it originally. But again, we messed it up. We apologize. We're going to get it together. You know, our team is going to cuss us up for all of this.
Oh, we're going to cuss up for everything. I'm just saying.
These people are so unprofessional.
Give them some.
Okay, so welcome, YouTube. We are here. I got this. You know what? I'm gonna go to YouTube. You guys in Facebook, you guys have a great day. I'm gonna turn this off so that way I can give my full undivided attention to YouTube. You guys have a good night.
Good night.
All right, YouTube, you out there? We're here.
Did you have any questions? I'm just looking to see if you got any questions. No, right? It didn't seem like we got any questions in that forum. It looks like it was more of a.
It is, but here it is, live on YouTube. This is going to be the wrap-up station for A Degree of Dopeness episodes. For anybody that's tuning in, I don't know when you tune in, or I guess it's these little people up here, but it's okay. So it's live and you can watch it later. But this show, the first episode you saw was the first episode we shot. And there were nerves, there were concerns with editing. You know, there's a whole lot going on, but we really, I know, right? She's all on her phone, but it's okay. So say hello to my sister, Danica. You guys,
hello.
You didn't meet her on tonight's episode, but this is my other sister, my mentor. She's the other sister, right? Cheers. Because we didn't.
Yes, that's right. Cheers to the freaking weekend.
Cheers. Happy Friday and happy Mother's Day weekend to all of the mothers out there. Yes, you're a mother.
Yes, I am.
Yes, so am I. My son, AJ. Hello, I love you.
My daughter, Destiny.
Name from Destiny's Child. I thought that's what you told me.
She was named after Beyonce. Because I love Beyonce, but it was really weird to have a daughter named Beyonce. Then everybody be like, "Why you name your daughter Beyonce?" And 20 years later, it's okay. But when she was okay, well, then I'm glad I opted out.
Yeah, I'm so that passed me.
Destiny because she was affiliated with Beyonce, but not because of the group. I wasn't really a fan of the group. I was a fan of the star of the group. Oh, sorry, the other two. Jesus, I love you. Oh no, I did too.
I know everybody does. Anyway, so welcome back. Sister and I, we have these types of dialogues all the time, which you will see on the show. We just converse, we cut up, we quote movies, we talk about random things, and you'd be surprised the movie knowledge that we have in this show. There's quite a bit of reference to Bill Murray, I think, in one point. Yeah, I think it was a 20-minute dialogue about it.
No, it was just a few minutes.
It's quite a bit.
About,
Bill Murray.
What about reference?
No, that was on the show. I'm talking about even before.
Oh, okay.
Where you berated me because I didn't know all of the Bill Murray movies that were available. So I apologize, Bill Murray, for not knowing all of your movies. But I do like to learn, and I love learning about new stuff and new movies and new shows. She's the movie buff right here, though. She's seen it. She's watched it. You want to ask her a question about movies, like recommendations. She's going to be the one for all of that. She will tell you what is what.
Oscar 2020,
right.
2018. I didn't really watch it.
She memorized it.
But just, I love watching a good film that got an award. Let me be the judge of that.
I'm going to ask you a question. It's probably time for you to confess. Do you remember that book Mommy used to have back in the day? It was like an Oscar book, and it had who won what Oscar each year, what movie was that? Yeah. Did you? Are you the reason that book was in our room? Because I'm very concerned now about just putting the pieces of that puzzle together. But that's how much she loves movies. Yes. Yeah. Again, this is my sister. We're very different. We're all very different. You're going to see a lot of differences on the show. We've got some, again, Otis and Candace. I don't know if I call them neighborhood kids. They're not really neighborhood kids. They're just,
and they're not kids.
They're not kids. They're definitely not kids. I don't know what to call them. Just friends. Yeah, they're just friends, you know, and it's okay to have friends in different age groups. And that's what this show displays, that you can have intelligent conversations with people in their 20s, people in their teens, and, you know, people who are in their 40s and 30s and 20s. We all have something to share. So the show is kind of a basic dialogue of sharing. Yes. What are some of the things you want to share?
That I share on the show, or just in general?
Oh, well, this is kind of a separate little added anecdote to them. So they've already seen the show, but they haven't seen you yet. So,
okay.
But just in general, tonight, it's Friday. What should they be doing tonight?
Tonight, relaxing, because most states are opening up, and keep your social distancing on, but most states are opening up right now, slowly but surely. But wear your mask. It's a respect to the elderly. I learned that a couple of days ago, and they appreciate it.
They do.
So it's not for us, it's for them. So just, you know, that just learning a lot about politics, learning a lot about, you know, what's going on in the world. Just, you know, picking the things that we put in our mind at this time of a pause. Yeah. So that's what I'm paying attention to make sure I'm getting some substance.
It is a time of pause. There is a lot going on out there where everybody's at a standstill, and that's okay. We don't have to move all the time. If you're like me, you're probably trying to figure out why the first episode was called Time is Money. It's called Time is Money because that was the premise of what I felt in the production phase of this show, which is every single minute that is being wasted in the middle of this pause is costing someone money. And some of them being even me. Hi, Andy. How are you? So when I say time is money, I started calculating the minutes that were being wasted as we just sat at home. And I realized that these were bankable, billable hours, and not billable like to my students, but to somebody's got to foot the bill for this standstill.
Yeah.
And I have this premise that when the world is at a pause, when it starts back, you better be ahead. And I agree. And you know, you share a lot of that discussion about how to get ahead on the show, but we're not going to give that away because I think that's coming. But what are some other things that we didn't talk about on the show that we can kind of supplement the resources of as far as people trying to get ahead when the world starts back?
Just, you know, for the people who are suffering financially or that have lost their jobs, I mean, you know, there's a wait list on unemployment. The system is crashing. So I feel your pain, but you're entitled to that money. So make sure that you still file your claim. Even if you go back to work next week, you're still entitled to that unemployment from the date that you stop working.
You know, it takes 20 minutes to apply.
Well, with the buffering system that they got going on right now, because they're basically breaking it because there's so many people that are unemployed right now that it's really difficult to get in. But when you do get in, just know that just because you can't get in now doesn't mean that when you can get in a couple of weeks that you're not still going to be able to get that unemployment. You were technically unemployed for a period of time and you're entitled to that money. So you'll get it, just, you know, and it's state by state. But also for the people who are working, like we're both fortunate enough to still have jobs, and we're not shaking the mouse. We're working. We're actively working, and you know, just try to take this as a moment. I did. I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna share something personal. I did upgrade my quarantine wardrobe a little bit. I did stimulate the economy a little bit. I donated to various causes, but I don't buy a lot in general. But I did stimulate the economy a little bit. But just, I did. I upgraded my workout office because I'm at home and, you know, and I have a treadmill and workout equipment, excuse me. So just, you know, take this moment to, you know, catch up on, like, pay ahead on your credit cards, because it makes up, I think we talked about that on the show as well. It makes up for the people who aren't able, it makes up for the creditors for the people who aren't able to pay. So even though, you know, you're basically fulfilling your debt agreement, but you're also making up for a person that can't pay and that creditor is giving them a pass. So they're, you know, it's kind of balancing each other out.
You know, I paid my water bill today, and they actually asked if I wanted to donate any additional funds to help someone else who didn't maybe were able to pay their water bill. And I thought about it for a second, and I mean, I didn't do it, but I wish I probably could have. If I had thought about it like a little bit longer, I would have, but it was so abrupt, and then the system just took a really long time. But I was just trying to get out of there. But, and maybe you should front load that water, people, like tell us in the beginning that that's the plan, and then give me enough time through this tedious process of calling it in, that I could think on it. But anyways, that's a really good thing to do. Think about the other people, buy them a cup of coffee in line. I know we hear about that all the time. Yeah. Pay It Forward, one of her favorite movies. Yeah. But they did literally for us a couple days ago. Just bought us all these Starbucks. Which
I was treating somebody to coffee and gave them my card, and they went to Starbucks and they said, we only charge $10 because the people behind us credited $20 towards our order. And I was like, oh my God, yay, I only charge $10.
If you're nice to people will be nice to you. You do know that, right? Like, a lot of people don't want to be nice anymore. They think it's a problem, like it's tougher to be mean. I don't want to be mean.
I watch a lot of news, and there's just some angry stuff going on.
Oh, I don't watch the news. I wait for you to give me the update. I wait for my sister to tell us when we're free. Is we free yet? And she's like, no. Okay, then I'm not gonna watch that. But there's a lot of stuff I am watching. I mean, catching up. And I don't watch TV at all. But we're not gonna talk about TV. We're talking about education. So you were saying that just catching up. Is that what you said?
What?
No, because that's what I said. Never mind. I lost my train of thought.
I'm so sorry. We were talking about angry people.
Angry people. I was very angry with her. Took me $10,000. Okay. Sorry. So people are angry right now. Don't be angry. But what do you think some things are making people angry right now? I'll tell you what's making me angry. And you tell me, no toilet tissue. I don't have it. I mean, good thing I have sisters that, have been grateful. And my neighbor across the hallway, she brought me some. And, but this is craziness. I don't even understand why we're still in this phase of hoarding where this should still be happening. So what do you think? What's making you angry?
You know what? I'm not really angry. I'm more concerned. I'm very grateful, and I'm very just blessed. I feel blessed that I hear about the unemployment. I think it's like 33 Americans right now, somewhat. 33 million Americans, somewhat right now that are unemployed, about 20%, a little bit over 20% of the country. So I feel blessed, but I'm kind of angry that we don't have a system in place for people if this happens.
Yeah.
Like, food bank lines are just ridiculous. Why is it backed up that much? Like, we need to be able to accommodate enough.
I did a lecture
work
last night. Okay. I did a lecture because I'm teaching remotely. And we were talking about planning, and nobody had a plan for this. This is a non-program decision for those of us out there. And non-program decisions are decisions that don't have a recipe because you've never experienced it before. Right. So I always share with my students how Ben Sliney, the director of the FAA, 9/11 was his very first day on the job. Oh. And he had to pick up his bootstraps or whatever they say and handle business. Yeah. Of course, there were some $1 trillion repercussions on the back end, but there was no plan before that. Mm-hmm. So what was he supposed to do? And now people are going with intuition. They're going with their thoughts, hopefully, or they're going with some other heuristics that they can pull from. But for the most part, they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Well, how are you coping?
As far as with my situation?
I mean, just, in general, you're not angry. Right, you're working, and this is a different data set. We either hear one or two of the extremes. Yeah. We hear I'm not working and my bills aren't getting paid and help me out, or I'm working and life is just grand.
I wouldn't say it's grand. You're working and you are an active worker and you are a hard worker. Literally, I wake up in the morning. I have my morning routine. I start work and I don't finish until I finish, and that's my shut off time. And it's hard to see, the other side that aren't working, that are sitting at home, pissed or maybe annoyed and frustrated. I would say pissed, frustrated the situation. And then me working, and I have a family at home, and I have a service and I have to get paid. So I don't take this as a pause right now. I really have to really be efficient because I have to earn my keep, because I can be disposable as well.
Absolutely.
Because companies are losing money as well.
Definitely. And Andy says, I think people who take things for granted are finding it more difficult. Absolutely. Do you understand? I am so appreciative of everything now. Like, there is nothing I take for granted. I don't take my job for granted. I don't take my house, my son's health, my health. You know, what about you? Like, what are some things we're really appreciating right now? Let's get to the positives, right?
I know it may sound really bad, but
No.
I'm appreciative that I have a home gym at home. Because the people who can't go to the gym are probably going stir crazy, like, when can I get out there? But the fact that, you know, I've had some type of cardio equipment in my house for like the last 20 years. Yeah. And it's like, it's a stress reliever. So just the things like that, like, oh my gosh, people are really can't go work out unless they go outside, and I can do it in the luxury of my own home. So that's nice. And that's something that, you know, I didn't take for granted, but then I'm appreciative of. But just, you know, just life, just your family, life in general, seeing these numbers just go up like I mean, it's crazy to count up every single day. I know, but it's crazy.
You know, the sad part, however, is that I don't know if when this is all said and done, if people will retain the value of this lesson. That's better. Let's pray that they do. And I'm with you, Andy. I totally hope that what we've learned in this storm, or whatever we want to call it, is something worth holding on to. Because I like having dinners at your house. I like having these conversations. I mean, maybe not live on camera, but you know, we do have more discussions.
Yeah, we talk about
life discussions. We talk every single day now, me and all my sisters. And then when the world comes back, I just don't want to have to rush anymore. That's what I'm appreciating. What are you?
When the world comes back, what I'm going to appreciate is, like, we always want more time. Mm-hmm. We always say, you know, we have more time, we'd be able to do this and this and this. So I actually took the beginning of this week, reflected on, okay, what have I accomplished in the last 30 days of having, even though I'm working an 8-hour shift every day, what if I don't have that commute? Yeah. What am I doing with this extra time? When what am I doing in my, would you say,
24 hours? Yes.
How am I efficient? Am I waking up feeling accomplished? Am I waking the next day? Am I feeling like I got things done yesterday? Do I feel like I have some substance in my life? Did I fuel my body with substance? Right. Things like that.
Because, you know, it can get real dangerous in this house with these drumsticks. Oh, wow. You know, single life is not all it's cracked up to be, people. I actually kind of miss having an accountability partner, because you should be embarrassed if you're on your 4th drumstick in one night. I'm just saying, that's my personal shame. So I'm just saying, I haven't, because I have restraint right now, but who knows what's going to happen, you know, however long. But she's right. We have these 24 hours, and we have to use them very smartly and very wisely. And there's this, again, because this is a professional and educational channel. So think about your 24 hours in a pie, right? So you have all these 24 hours. Once you start ticking away at some of them, like your hour-long commute or your 8-hour workday. Ooh, that's a big chunk, the 8-hour workday. Then you have to really assess what's left. And what you may have is like 6 valuable hours of time. Yeah. And how are you spending those? So I use this practice in not letting people spend my 24 hours. You want to explain it? Because I taught it to her, and she's been using it all the time. And I hope you use it too. That's why they're tools. So go ahead.
Can I tell you my perspective?
Yes.
Okay, so basically we have one life to live. And right now our life is very valuable. And some of us taken our life for granted. We've taken our lives for granted. Mm-hmm. So I decided to live my each day to the fullest. So in my 24 hours, I want to really get a lot out of my 24 hours. I want to feed myself with knowledge, eat healthy foods, take my vitamins, get my de-stressor on, get my cardio in, you know, things like that. Because what people choose, I don't want to use it washing dishes.
No.
And I know there are some people that know I'm talking to. I don't want to use it washing dishes or cleaning bathrooms. And not, I'm talking about at home. I don't want to do that. I want to get my 8 hours of work in. I want to watch some shows, watch the news. So I've been really reevaluating, what do I want to do in my 24 hours? And life has been good this year. It really has.
When you take your 24 hours of control back, that means you don't let other people spend it for you. Mm-hmm. And this is a relationship tip as well. No, because that's not what I want to do. You can do that. However, in my 24, I'm not planning on washing your dishes today. So I'm gonna need you to be okay with me not conforming to your 24 hours. And people have a hard time doing that. But if you learn that each individual 24 hours are each individual's, it'll allow you to kind of appreciate it more.
Like, I'm gonna give you an example. You watch the news. I watch the news 10 hours a day. I'm not gonna lie. But that's what I want to do in my 24 hours, and I damn somebody to judge me for it.
Exactly. She's gonna damn somebody to judge me for it. I love the fact that it's our show. Right? Oh, Savannah said, I love the pie theory. Yes, you remember it, right? It makes you think about life totally different. It's like, what am I really gonna do with my day? And each day adds up to a week, to a year, to a century, like of a life. And if you don't take advantage of each and every moment that we have in this life, then you are wasting it. Yeah. So,
pursuit to happiness.
Thank you.
Not only monetary, that's just mentally and physically.
And I'll share with you, because we talked about how you love movies, right? Hold on, what's this one? Before I get into that, do you think that gyms, for example, will be just packed as it was? See people making use of nature's gym. Exactly. Nobody. My theory is nobody's gonna run back to is what you say, where they say they boiling the Corona. Ground zero where it started. Disney. Oh Lord Jesus, I don't understand. But
you get accustomed to the equipment at the gym instead of using like your own work, your own weight and stuff like that to resist,
all these companies. And trust me, when I know, and I said Disney, and I'm just gonna say it again so I can clean it up. I know that they're gonna take full advantage of the opportunity to clean and sanitize. You know what I'm saying? Like, these companies don't play about their money and their customers. So everything has to be done in time, and everything will have to be done with responsibility. And whether or not that means that some of these companies have to wait a little bit longer, like, some of our gyms or amusement parks or things like that, that's okay by me.
To his point, I think that what he's saying is like people going to hiking and resorting more to more to people resorting to hiking and doing things at home, and just taking advantage of the world, like how we used to eat off the land versus depending on the plants, because now we have stuff shutting down and we have to really start thinking outside the box a little bit on our meat situation.
Because our friend she's on the show too, so I can say it. She's coming in, I think the next episode. No, coming in a couple episodes. But anyway, she's on the show, and she was talking about her heritage and being able to, hunt and live off the farm and the land. I would love to do that kind of stuff, right? I mean, and Andy knows, Belize. She lived off of what was there, the culture, and I love that, and people have to learn to do that more. I'm learning to really make do, you guys. If you know me, my nails have never looked this hard. Mm-hmm. This is called roughing it.
We all are.
This is what I call roughing it. But I'm actually appreciating not sitting in the salon for 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
And I've been embracing some things about myself as well, because I'm one of those people that put on makeup every single day.
Yeah.
And I am. And just going a month, of not doing it is just, not that I've gone a whole month, but just not as frequently as I normally do.
Okay.
It's like, oh my gosh, you start embracing, like, kind of like nature's gym. You start embracing the nature of what we were born with.
Yes.
Kind of embracing it.
That little natural hair. And then, that
Right, as I said.
Okay. Yes. So I'm appreciating the naturalness. My texts always tell me I have long nail beds. I don't know what that means, but I guess I'll appreciate it now since I got to look at it. I have no choice. So we have an episode about choices, which
is, I'm in the choices one.
Yes, she is in the choices one.
That's one of my favorite ones.
Oh, yes. That's one of her favorite ones. It was a blur. We recorded 10 episodes again, you guys, 10 episodes in like 3 days. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we did not do that. It took a very long time. It's like the old Rice Krispie treats commercial when the lady comes out. Here you go.
But it was.
But it was.
A lot of effort and time.
It was a lot of time. Time is money. Time is money. And I felt like if I didn't do this at this very moment, then my opportunity, my window was going to be gone. I knew that this had to happen right now. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. I don't know what the aftermath is going to be. We talk about it all the time. It's like, is anybody watching right now? We have 3 people that are watching this, which is great. I love it. The 3 of you that are still out there, have a, if you're over 21, please join us. But for the most part, I'm just going to keep doing it until God tells me not to do it anymore. And right now, this is what we're doing. So anything you want to leave them with? Because we're only going to do this for about 30 minutes because we do want to switch over to, I think it's Patreon. And I will post that link after. So that link will take you to the podcast where we are not edited. So if you liked what you saw here, there's plenty more conversation to be had on the other platform, but we love YouTube. Please come in here. Please like and subscribe if you see this video at a later date. I think you might find it informational and funny.
Yes, and the choices, which is next week, right?
Yes.
That comes out. It's great. And I'm very proud to have been pulled into it. You'll see what I'm talking about. But, just to talk about choices that we make every single day and how they, can affect or affect the future in a positive way, not always a negative way, but just, why people do what they do. Why do you choose to go to school? Why do you choose not to go to school?
Right.
Is it really, it's your personal choice, but it's in preference, but it's not an obligation. So a degree is not an obligation.
No, it's a ticket, but the ride is up to you.
Yeah.
And you got to remember that right now, especially with all this downtime,
Yes,
use it wisely. But that is all. Unless somebody has any questions out there, Andy, Savannah, I don't know if you're still out there. You're probably the 2 people that we're talking to right now, which is great because 2 of my favorite people. Yes. Anything from us? No? Maybe? Possibly. Okay. Never mind. So you guys have a great night, and we will do this again next Friday, same time, 7:30, and then we'll talk about Miss Danika's debut on the Choices episode that will air Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're trying to bring back TGIF if you didn't notice. That's why. Because people are like, we want more. No! Patience, people. Patience. Right?
Yes, and we promise you lots of content. We love you, Tiffany.
We have content now.